Mini Lesson 5 Tips for Reading and Discussing Drama. Poetry, prose, and drama. We're going to discuss really quickly about the difference between those three. Poetry is short. They're not in complete sentences. They have a rhythm to it. A lot of times we can say poetry is like music, popular music that we listen to. They create a feeling. They put you in a mood, and it rhymes sometimes. And you have something called a prose. And prose is just short stories, novels, newspapers, any type of essay that you read. It's longer. It has paragraphs. Poetry is not a prose. And drama is not prose. So anything else that's not drama or poetry is considered prose. One of the most exciting forms of fiction that readers will enjoy is drama. Plays are drama. So when you go to a Broadway show, you are looking at drama, readers' theater. And just like in other form of fiction, drama is written by a writer, and it's known as a playwright. And it can be enjoyed by readers of fiction. And drama comes from the Greek word action. And lots of times during the Greeks, they would put on, very long time ago in Greece, they would put on shows. And these shows were either called tragedies or comedies. There was nothing in between. A tragedy is something that is very sad, and a comedy is something that is going to make you laugh, and it's happy. And here you have these two popular masks that you always see when it describes theater or drama. Here's the comedy, and here's the other mask that shows a tragedy, sorrow. And today we're going to look at traditional types of literature, and we're going to explore that drama, and we're going to be reading drama in a different form of reading, and it's called a narrative story. The written version of a play or a drama is actually called a script. And in that script, there's going to be different lines and characters, and people take on that character role and know their script. They have to memorize it, and they put on a play. So in a play, script usually has a title. Hopefully it's a catchy title. There's usually that introduction, just like that we have in a prose or fictional story, there's an exposition. Well, in a drama, in a play script, they're going to have an introduction, like that exposition where they're describing the scene of where and when. Then you have the characters, and the characters are listed in the beginning. And they might even have a new speaker, like a narrator that's going to be speak. There's also another type of feature that's called stage directions. And those are in parentheses, like these right here, these brackets. And they're written to telling the actors or the actresses what they must do, how they must feel, the action that they show on their face or their body, how their body gestures and shows their action, even where they're supposed to stand. Those are those stage directions. Then you have a scene, and the scene's setting, they change. Then you have an act, the beginning, the middle, and the end. And there's not going to be any speech marks, like those dialogue, quotation marks. They're going to show things in capitals and italics to show what the characters should be thinking and acting. So again, we're going to look at those text features in drama. Look for the characters, the dialogue between the characters. It might be in bold print or italicized. There's going to be a narrator, the person who's telling the story. There might actually be more than one. There's going to be scenes, a script, setting, time and place, and stage directions, usually in those parentheses, telling the actor what to do. So when we look for these elements of plays, you're going to be looking at that in the play that I'm about to read to you. And during your reads today, you're going to look for dialogue, props, narrator, stage directions, characters, scenes. Those props are the objects that the characters the actors and the actresses use during their play. And the drama that I'm going to read to you today is The Peasant and the Lion, and it's a Mongolian folktale. The Peasant and the Lion. This fun Mongolian folktale proves that true strength comes not from the muscles, but from the mind. And here we go. As we're reading this, make sure we're looking for those elements of drama. And I see over here we have characters. It's the peasant, his wife, a lion, and a fox. In scene 1, it's giving us the time. It's daytime. It says it could be the past, present, or future. It means it doesn't give us the exact time. It could be any of those times. The setting is an interior of a yurt in the eternal Mongolian plains, and is far right, suggested by a wooden table and 2 chairs. Far left are some stones on the ground. So they're actually giving us the props here. A wooden table, chairs, and some stones, and it's giving us a yurt, which is basically a place that Mongolians live in. And at rise, the wife, wearing an apron, is in the yurt, sweeping and doing light cleanup work. And the peasant runs in quite agitated. So he's kind of annoyed. Now you see, this is kind of giving them stage directions on what they really need, the actors and the actresses need to be doing. So here's the peasant line. Wife, wife, woe are we, woe are we. The wife, who has to act annoyed. Whatever is it now, husband? The peasant. It's a lion, and he's headed for our yurt. He'll gobble us up in no time. What shall we do? Now the wife, here it is, stage direction, is sighing. Ay, husband, don't worry. Whatever he says to you, just tell him you're going hunting for lions. Nice, juicy, fat lions. Now take this duck egg. The wife pulls out an egg from the apron pocket. That's stage directions, and listen to what I have to tell you. She motions for the peasant to come closer to the door, hands him a duck egg, and then whispers in his ear. He places the duck egg in his pocket. Again, there's those brackets that are telling you, parentheses that are telling us, those are stage directions. The peasant, now pleased and comforted. Ah, yes, I understand. The peasant turns around and exits. The lion enters left. The peasant and the lion each face other down left. The lion, old gray beard, just where do you think you're going? The peasant, I'm off to hunt some plump lions, perhaps even you. The lion is surprised and amused. Stage directions. You hunt me? Why, you're out of your mind. Don't be foolish, old man. I'm 100 or more times stronger than you. I could crush you like a grape. The peasant. Then let's have a contest, lion. Whoever is the stronger shall be the master. The weaker of us must do the other's biting. The lion says, fair enough. What do you propose? The peasant, well, crush that stone over there. The peasant points to a rock. The lion takes a step to his right and takes a swipe at rock. The peasant makes a loud gulp. Again, those are stage directions. The lion, well, the rock is no more. It's now powder. Let's see what you can do. The peasant turns his back and digs into his pocket for the duck egg. He then bends down and pretends to pick up already palmed duck egg. The peasant, watch this, lion. The peasant squeezes the duck egg and grimaces at the same time. The lion, who's astounded, whoa, you have squeezed out of every very juice of the rock. The peasant, yes, lion, indeed I have. I can do this and much more if you understand what I mean. The lion, who's kneeling down on the ground. Master! Curtain. So there's that word curtains telling us in parentheses that the curtain is going to close because this scene has come to an end. That's a stage direction. Now we're on scene 2. The time is daytime. The setting is the forest. Backdrop shows trees. A couple of branches protrude from the backdrop. This is describing the scene now. At rise, the peasant climbs off the back of the lion, who is on his hands and knees. The lion then rises to his feet. It's telling you what's happening. The peasant. This is a fine place. Here I shall find some right wood for new bow. Notice a branch. I think that branch should do nicely. He reaches to grasp a branch and exerts a lot of energy trying to pull it down. It just won't come down. The peasant continues struggling. The lion watches with interest. The lion innocently, "Excuse me, master, can I be of service?" The peasant, "Yes, you can. Rip this branch off for me." The lion instantly pulls the branch down. "Thank you." The lion, still innocently, "Excuse me again, master." The peasant, "What is it now?" The lion, "What happened to all your strength?" The peasant is now lost for words. The peasant, smiling broadly, "Excuse me, wait right here." The peasant slowly turns around and starts tiptoeing away and then bolts off. Curtain. Now this scene has come to an end because the curtain tells us close it. Now we're on season 3. It's daytime still, and the setting is now scene 1. The same as scene 1, where we're back in that yurt with the wooden and the 2 table chairs, the wood table and the 2 chairs. At rise, the wife is preparing food at the table, and the peasant, clearly a nervous wreck, is by her side. The peasant, who's showing excitement, "He's on to us! I'm telling you, I'm sure the lion is on his way to gobble us both up." The peasant walks over to the edge of the stage and looks off. I see him! I see him! He's on his way! Oh, why did I ever listen to you?" The wife, who is soothingly, "Calm down, husband, calm down." The peasant, who is still showing panic, "Calm down? Calm down? How can I calm down? The beast is practically outside the yurt as we speak." The wife, "Don't worry, just listen to me. When the lion pokes his head into our yurt, just ask me what I'm cooking for tonight's dinner." After a moment, the lion sticks his head on stage. The wife and the peasant pretend they don't see him. Now the peasant, who's acting nonchalantly, "What are you cooking for dinner tonight, dear?" The wife, happily, "Just what you asked for. I'm cooking a stew out of the leftover lion from last night. Along with that, I've added the shoulder bone of a young lion." The lion, his eyes bulging, withdraws his head from the yurt and flees. The wife and the peasant then look at each other and laugh. Curtain. The scene has come to an end. Then they open up the curtain and they show it's daytime, and the setting has now changed to the plains, just plain flat land, and there is a large rock on the stage. At rise, the lion is jogging past a fox who is sunning himself on that rock. The fox, who is curious and amused, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Ho there, brother lion! Where are you off to like that?" The lion is wheezing and out of breath, stops and bends over and places his hand upon his knees. "And why, lion, do you wear a ring in your nose like some caravan camel? Who pulls you by the nose?" Now composed and standing, "Oh, brother fox, I have just pulled myself from the very jaws of death." Now the fox, who is very interested, "Oh, tell me what happened." The lion, who's very upset, "Oh my, well, there's a fierce old man who eats lions. He can crush rocks as if they were mere snowballs. Then there's his wife who cooks lions for him." "Hold on, lion. I've seen those 2 old people. Let me tell you, they hoodwinked you." Now lion, who's surprised, "What?" The fox, "That's right. They really duped you. Why, people are too weak to eat lions." "Do you mean they can't hurt me?" The fox says, "Well, why, certainly not. It would take 100 of them to wrestle you to the ground. Now listen to me. Take me back there with you. Then we'll kill those 2 old people and save a little for my dinner. What do you say?" The lion, who's very angry at being deceived, "We have a deal. Let's go." Curtain. So scene 4 has now come to an end. Now scene 5 is going to begin. The curtain opens. The time is early evening, and they're outside the yurt. At rise, the peasant is squatting and relaxing, the wife getting a little exercise by stretching her arms and bending forwards and backwards. The peasant, Well, that was a lovely meal. I'm going to relax a bit before I check in on the horses and cattle. The wife, relax a bit more if you wish. You deserve it. You certainly had yourself frightened like a loon over that lion. See? Didn't I tell you not to worry? You should have trusted me. I know. It's just that old lion. The peasant looks off and sees something in the distance. Oh, no. He slowly stands. Do you see what I see? Becoming nervous. The lion is coming back again. This time he has company. We're in for it now. What shall we do? The wife calmly. Relax. This time let me do all the talking. The lion and the fox enter left. They come face to face with the peasant and the wife. The fox, who is smirking. These are the old people, all right, brother lion. The wife angrily. Fox, you old rascal. I told you to bring me a real fat lion, not that miserable bag of bones that's been hanging around here. The lion slowly turns to the fox. The fox, grimacing and shrugged his shoulders. The wife, that's another thing. Every lion you brought to us in the past few weeks has been mangy, scrawny, and flea-bitten. The lion we ate last night was tough as boot leather. I want strong, healthy lions. The lion roaring, you traitor. The lion then gives the fox a backward hand slap, which causes the fox to move backwards, turning 3 or 4 times before falling in a heap. The lion then turns and flees left. The wife turns to the peasant, smiles, and shrugs. The peasant, who's now pleased. I understand clearly now. True strength comes not from the muscles, but from the mind. The peasant points to his head. The wife smiles and nods. Curtain. The scene has now come to an end, and now the story says the end. Well, that was such a great play. I really enjoyed reading that. I hope you liked it too. And if I was going to study the elements of that play, we would break it down using this graphic organizer. We would cast of the characters. We would list all the characters. We would describe the setting. It's the yurt, the Mongolian plains, daytime, past, present, or future. Some of the dialogue that we saw between the wife and the peasant. I wouldn't write down everything, but just an example of what dialogue is, and I'd write it here. Stage directions. Where did you hear that the actors and the actresses had to do certain things? Curtain, kneeling on the ground, pulls an egg from their apron. They don't say that, they show it. So they need to have those stage directions written in that script. Then there's descriptions. Wooden table, 2 chairs, peasant, clearly a nervous wreck. Those are descriptions telling how the character must act and what they need to have. And there's a list of props. What kind of props did you see? Or make an inference. What do you think they need to have? Maybe sometimes plays are not going to have the props listed. Make an inference. What do you think they do need to have? Rocks, costumes, tables, and chairs. They're going to need grass. They're going to need sticks. They're going to need trees. Now you're going to get into your reads and your groups, and you're going to explore your reads. Some of you have The Legend of King Midas. Some of you have other types of traditional plays that we're going to read. And in there, you're going to use your graphic organizers that are in your reads, and you are going to list all the characters, the setting, some types of examples of the dialogue. The stage direction tells about the action of the movement on the stage. If they don't list it, infer. What do you think they have to do on stage? Give some descriptions of what the setting would have to look like. How would your scenery have to look? Some kind of props that you need to have for your play to be a success. And then give me some of the beginning and the middle of the end of the story, of the plot that describes your script. Even create a story mountain if you want. It shows the exposition, the big rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. So complete this graphic organizer. You guys can read your plays together and give each other the lines and practice reading it back and forth. But make sure our elements of the play graphic organizer are completed. Have fun.